Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching the videos that I'm producing over the last 10 weeks. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and spread it among your friends and peers as they might find it helpful in their journey. So as we had spoken about, that this is not just a channel where I speak about my experiences or my inputs. This is the channel where we have created so that it's a platform where we find people coming in and also sharing their experiences. And last week I was telling all of you that the markets are opening up in Canada. We can see the jobs are coming back. And I thought that it is so imperative that we bring in someone who has gone through the journey of a newcomer in the last 3 to 4 months and has faced the issues that quite a few of you were facing in terms of your job search, getting the right pieces. But fortunately, and a great news for her, that she has now cracked it, and not only one, but in the last 1 month, she has actually got 3 offers and looking at moving in with which is the best offer for her. So we are very fortunate that we have Lavina with us. Hi, Lavina.
Hi, Sandeep. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. So it's great to have Lavina with us. Lavina Ojha. Lavina is a classic example of a newcomer. She's from India, but she has studied in US. She has worked in US and India, and then moved in sometime just towards the end of this year, end of 2019, and has been since then, obviously, first couple of months struggling into the new country and trying to get herself in, and then the COVID hit. So all of us know what COVID did to all of us, and I thought that it's perfect time to bring Lavina in front of all of us and let Lavina share her story and her experiences, which can really help a lot of you to understand that what all the things that Lavina went through and what is it that she thinks that could be of great help. So without spending more time on my talks, let's move to Lavina. And Lavina, if you could just introduce yourself a little bit, give your background in terms of what your experience has been and where did you study and what your journey has been into Canada, and as a background, and then tell us a little bit about your first initial couple of months in Canada.
Sure. First of all, thank you, Sandeep, for inviting me to this platform. I just want to give it back and just share whoever can benefit from our conversation. So about me, in terms of academics, I have MBA in finance from US and currently pursuing CFA. So I've passed with CFA level 1. I have worked in US for about 6 years. And then I moved to India. I worked there for a couple of years, and I got here towards the end of 2019, right before the pandemic happened. So as you said, went through ups and downs from then on, and recently, about a month ago, landed my first job. So it's been an exciting journey, but being fortunate to having met people like you who have been with me throughout the journey and made it least difficult as possible.
No. Thank you so very much. It's at the end of it, it's as I say, right? It's your journey, right? You can only find people to help you and support you and at times, but it is your journey at the end of it. So congratulations on landing your job. So let me ask you that I know that I think you should share this with everybody who is going to watch this video, that the field in which you got your job, is it in the same field in which you wanted the job to be?
Yes, Sandeep. So I have MBA in finance. I have worked in finance in US as well as in India, and fortunate enough to land a job in finance, a similar area. Though it's an intermediate role, I was looking for a senior role, but it's part of the process. It's a new country, new market. Nobody would want you to start from senior level right away. So it's again another process, but yeah, same field.
Right. And do you think that, in that process, and this is a very interesting piece because I have been talking about in some of my videos and why it's like a journey, and a lot of time taking on too much right at the beginning might be actually counterproductive because you do not know so much about the place, right? And though we can, and coming from you is very important for everybody else who is watching, because Lavina has been in North America. She has been in the US. So even after that, Canada is a different country. So taking it as a journey probably is something which Ravina just mentioned, could be something which all of us, all of you who are looking for your break can keep in mind. The second question, Lavina, that I have for you is that during that phase, right, the phase where you were not so confident or not so sure that whether this decision of coming here was right, or the challenges that you were facing, and then on top of that, COVID came in. So what would be the top three things that you would say that which troubled you the most, right? So when you look back today, what are the three things that you would have not done would have been more helpful?
How I would say is initially when I landed here, I was on my own. I didn't have any network here. And as you said earlier, having worked in US, degree from there, in my head I was thinking I'll land a job right away. So my expectations were, too ambitious, I would say. So I was thinking probably 2 months I'll land a job. I was applying on my own. But unfortunately, I was not hearing back from employer at all. There's no feedback. If you get selected, you get interview call. But if you don't get selected, you have no idea what's happening there.
Right.
So that kind of pulled me down, thinking, what is wrong? Is it my resume? Is it my experience? Is it my skill set? I had no idea what employers were looking for. So I was kind of that hole where I had no idea what I should or should not be doing. So eventually, in a month or 2 month time frame, I started feeling as if like, probably, it's so hard to land a job. Then you hear from people saying there's a hidden market. And then you doubt yourself that would you ever find a job by applying online? Is it all happening through hidden market that you have no access to because I have no network, right?
Right.
And then that's when, there was a tipping point for me when I started feeling, maybe I won't land a job unless I have a network. And that was becoming more difficult because the COVID situation came in.
Right.
But what helped me, Sandeep, is platforms like Access Employment. So I met you there, and that's why I find myself very fortunate that there are platforms like Access Employment who, even in COVID situations, gave this opportunity to meet people. And that became, although COVID, hurt people in many ways, but I think it worked as a blessing for many people because people who are always so busy, people like yours, who couldn't really attend a networking event in person, could take it offline, online essentially, and still be part of it. So I started meeting people, and I was fortunate to have people like you who actually took this, my journey as your own journey. I remember you calling me and following up, how is your job search going, what you should or should not be doing. But the two things happen. I found people like you who were very, very to the point, very supporting, knowing the industry. But I also found people who, in very good manner or spirit, they gave me suggestions, but actually that made me more confused. I forgot what I was looking for, how I should be positioning myself. So positioning myself became a challenge because I was getting too many suggestions from everywhere. And I, at the end, had to simplify it to that level that whatever resume I have right now, I have to stick to it. I have to own it rather than creating 30 versions of it. So I stick to just one version and started applying. I think that positivity that you gain through networking, where people come and say, don't worry, it's just the process you have to go through. At the end of the day, there's light, you will land the job. That positivity started helping me, and I became more and more optimistic that sooner or later I have to just land a job. So essentially, Sandeep, I feel it's just a process steps. This is a journey we all have to go through. Some people have it shorter, other people have it longer. But it's the attitude that governs or decides where we, at the end of the day, land.
Right.
If you stay positive, stay joyful, because it's the process at the end of the day. The
Right.
more joyful you are, you enjoy it, at the same time land in a place where you're looking for.
Absolutely. And I think you're bang on, Levin. And I think the 3 points that comes out from what you're talking about for people who are going to watch this video is, I think one is self-confidence and understanding self, right? More than
Yeah.
confidence and self retrospection, understanding what you really bring on the table and really trusting yourself, right? First. And then secondly, trying to understand the networking part of it, right? And keeping that going and understanding that it's a process, right? And you just need one job. You don't need 50 jobs at one go. But if you're planned, and if you're realistic, and if you do the right things in the right way, and most importantly, believe in yourself, trust yourself. I think that's the most important piece that comes out. No, great. And the other point that I wanted to ask you, and this is something which is not directly associated with your journey per se, but the videos that I'm doing right now, and you have been somebody who has also started watching the videos at the same time, and I started off it because I felt that the whole idea of the videos was to help people like you, right? And to an extent help people to reach out to me so that we can have those conversations and as you said, that try to understand your journey and support, right? And obviously people like Access Employment, Destinations here, they're doing a fantastic job, but obviously there would be a little bit more. So do you think the videos are doing what I felt or I felt that they should do?
I would say absolutely, because I think when we first time connected, Sandeep, around the same time you started doing your videos. So I was connected with you on phones. I know how reachable you were. At the same time, I was watching your videos, which were bang on, very, very informative, to the point that it was actually pointing out to the stage where I was and what I was facing and how do I navigate from there. So they're very helpful. I would say just keep up with this platform, Sandeep. I really appreciate having those videos around.
No, thank you. That gives a lot of, more than confidence. It gives, it gives encouragement to continue, because at the end of it, it has to benefit, right? It has to benefit people, and that's the whole idea. Last piece, Lavina, what now that you are looking forward, and best wishes to you in your journey, and so what would be your 2 points to people who are right now in that stage where you were 3 months back? What would be, you have to just tell them to do 2 things. What would be those 2 things?
As I think you rightly mentioned, and you've been covering in your videos as well, that its most important thing is stay confident and stay positive. I know it's very difficult thing. When I used to hear people saying things like that initially when I was looking for a job, I was thinking, how it's gonna help? The end of the day, you can say those things when you're out of it. But it's very important because that governs the interview calls and a lot of other things. When you get one interview call, just make sure you just nail it. Just always be prepared. Just own your resume, as you said. It's very important to know other people, to get advices. But the most important thing is to know your resume, to know yourself, how and what you bring to the table, how you can help company grow better as well as grow within the company. So stay positive is the most important thing. And second thing is keep up with your networking. That's very important, because it's not just to land a job, but to make this whole process as very joyful and happy process, rather than being to yourself and feeling maybe it's me that I'm not able to land a job. Actually, it's not just one person, it's the whole job market. Now the job market opened up. I feel like, I just hope and pray that everybody lands the kind of job they are looking for.
No, thank you so very much for those points, and I'm sure people who are watching, they would take that, and I would strongly recommend. There are 2 videos on networking that I had already done. One is called Networking Simplified, and one is Networking 2.0. Watch them, and if you guys have any questions, please do reach out directly. I would be more than happy to take it. And thank you, Lavina, for your time today. To take out time from your right now very busy schedule. Best wishes, and thank you. And for everybody else, please keep watching the videos and keep feedback, give us feedbacks, and keep comments, share among your peers. Thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.